How's it going, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Yeah. Got a lot of testing stuff to do. But felt like doing a stream and see how everybody's doing. Once again, I just want to shout out, and I do need to put a video out thanking all you guys that for the flower arrangements at my grandmother's funeral. Uh, very, very pretty, awesome. Thank you guys for that. It was a long day yesterday. So just want to thank everybody in the community that reached out, made that happen. And I will do an official video on that as well, um, with those people's names that were involved in making that happen. So how's everybody doing? What are we going to do today? What are we going to talk about? Let's see. There we go. Hey, hello, Lisa, John, Melanie. Good morning. Good morning. Chris, Travis, Aquatics. Hello, hello. Hello, call me Nemo. How's it going? So, yeah, felt like bio balls. um, yeah. We got anything interesting going on today? Everybody's aquariums doing great? Or is there anybody having problems or got anything going situation wise? Hello, good morning to all. Uh, are you serious? Again, let me see. Let me see. Oh, sure did. Oh my God. I have no idea. Good one. Good catch. Good catch. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Hopefully it fixed. That is crazy. Um, and I'm doing it from a computer, so it ain't like it's some kind of auto thing, but whatever. It's fixed. Thank you. Thank you for that heads up. Appreciate that. Unbelievable. uh, yes. Let's see. 25 Lagoon is almost ready for startup. That is awesome, John. Good morning, Ryan Gill. How's it going? Dion, hello. Good morning. Uh, but every time I do, ways to yeah, your salinity, you can't if you're drip acclimating and taking water out of your system, Dion. You don't want your ATO to kick on. If you got an ATO, meaning an auto top off, you want to shut that off. You want to have water pre-mixed as like for a water change. So the water that you're using to drip acclimate, you're going to replenish with salt water, just like as if you were doing a water change, Dion. Um, but if you're doing it with your ATO on and your ATO's filling in with fresh salt or fresh water, should I say, it's going to drop your salinity. So you just need to have an extra. Anytime you're getting anything in, you're drip acclimating new fish and inverts or whatever, corals, whatever you're doing, and using water for dip. You want to have some fresh salt water on hand already pre-mixing. So when you're done doing what you need to, what you're doing, you want to go ahead and take that water and add that new water to the system. So it's just like doing a water change. So what? All right, I am like, okay, let me see. AQU, right? AQAR. Where the egg? Oh my God, this computer. All right, that should be it. Thank you again. Oh, it's just one of those mornings. You gotta love it. Ah, please let me know if that's correct. I think my eye, maybe I need to get glasses. All right. Now, and cut the ATO off right now. Thanks a lot. No, thanks, Dion, for coming in, man. I appreciate all the support and love, man. Appreciate it. Hello, Miss Risa. Hello, everybody. Hello. All good now? I hope so. Third time's a charm, right? Oh, my word. Next project, I need to basically plumb my lagoon to my reefer. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good morning, hon. Good to see you stop in here. Yeah. Awesome to see that. Good morning, K-Town Reefer, Chris, everybody. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. Good morning to all. Hopefully, everybody's having a lovely morning, afternoon, evening. We got people from all over the world. I'm excited. My goby today, pistol shrimp, preparation for them, and water change, all in damn freshwater. That's a lot of water you're going to use today, Dion. It sounds like a whole lot of water. So, John says, any updates on the tank build, Rico? Today, yeah, I got to call here in a little bit, finalize what I'm doing, and that's that for the tank. So just give them the deposit today. Um, obviously, I couldn't do it yesterday. Obviously, it was just too much on my plate, and as far as grandma, but. Today I have to do it today. I have to call and finalize today. So or it's going to push it out back further. So yep, yep. I was sitting there thinking, um, hey Phil, how's it going, man? Hopefully everything's going on good with you. I haven't seen you in a while. Um, yeah, yep. Can you imagine being almost 100 years old, all the things that you would have seen in your lifetime? He was born in 1925. 1925. They didn't even have TVs. Nothing. Imagine that. Hey, Reef Rabbits, Aquariums. I have no idea, man. We're just, today's just one of those days. Just want to talk to the community and, if we got anything interested to talk about. And, Dion had a question. His salinity kept dropping and he didn't know how to fix it. And we got him situated on that. So, Yeah. So if anybody else has anything, don't hesitate to ask. You know, it's what it's here for. Just a community to hang out and talk about UV sterilizers. Is UV sterilizers worth getting? Um, it depends on what you want a UV sterilizer for. Um, do they have a place in the hobby? Of course they do. They will take care of things that make its way through the UV sterilizer. They will give you better water clarity. Um, Pathogens, depending on how you run it, meaning, the flow rate, the size, the intensity of the bulbs, kill pathogens, that unwanted pathogens, and even some good ones. But overall, for the most part, yes, they're definitely they're worth having. Do you have to have them? No, you don't. You do not have to have a lot of things to have a successful reef tank. A lot of things are put on to really you know, help you out. Some things like that is one, just like a protein skimmer, and just makes things a little bit more easier, better to manage, and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of equipment out there that you really don't need. A lot of us are, heavy-handed feeders and stuff like that. So, protein skimmer is going to help, along with some water changes and stuff like that. It's going to help keep your nutrients level down. But when it comes to the UV sterilizer, it's a component that, it's really totally up to you. Um, it's not really that cheap of a component, but it definitely has its place in this industry. A lot of your zoos and aquariums and stuff run big UV sterilizers. But it's not something you have to. It's really pretty much up to you and what your pockets can do and afford. So hopefully that answers that question for you. Uh, let's see what else we got. What happened with what did I miss? I was explaining one. Um, Rico, Phil says, all good here, Rico. Had some car troubles this week. Also working hard on my yard. Spring is here. A lot of work. $500 later, and hopefully car is good. Oh, okay. Chris, does anybody see me? Okay, yes. Okay, what did I miss? I'm trying to go back in the chats because I was explaining something. Hello, exclusive. Good morning, Chris. Hey, Rico. If this was your tank and you had the choice, would you put sand or no sand? Huh. Okay, sand or no sand. Um, Once again, um, I prefer sand. I, pers- I prefer sand when it comes to a reef tank. That's just me. A lot of people, there's some people prefer no, because of detritus and stuff like that. I'm more of a natural look guy. There's nothing wrong with doing a bare bottom. There's tons of corals that can grow. You can grow all across the encrusting corals all across the bottom of your system. Me personally, I'm more of a sand person. That's just me. Uh, I know you asked if it was my tank. Um, I I don't want to say too much because I got the build coming on, and I'm going to be filming it. So I want people to wonder what I'm going to use, if I'm going to go with no sand or sand on this next build. But it's really up to your preference. Um, for me, it's kind of putting me in between a rock and a hard spot to answer that. I mean, obviously, I do love sand though. No problem, Chris. No problem. Did I miss anybody else? I have. Mm, exclusive. I'm still on the fence with that. Um, I got a lot of work still here to do. Um, so I'm not 100% sure yet on this breakdown. So I have no idea yet. I have to get with Than as well, because there's corals that he would like some of these colonies up out of here as well. So I'll probably break down after Reefapalooza for sure and start getting things into play. Let's see. So Reef Rabbit says, I have a 5 gallon. I'm planning to move from fresh water to salt water so I can have a Nemo at my office. Any tip on cycling a tank that small? I'm new. Thanks. That's small. 5 gallons. Huh, 5 gallons is really small. If you can grab a piece of rock from an established tank and put it in there, it's an instant cycle basically. And if you just want to put a bubble tip in there and one clown, um, that is really small. Me personally, I wouldn't do it, you know, at that level, that small. Um, to be honest, that's the fluctuations in a 5 gallon is real, you know, the evaporation fluctuations, is going to have a lid, try to help keep that down some, because you're going to, I don't know, to be honest, that's a very small tank. It's something that I definitely wouldn't advise for a new hobbyist. I would at least get your foot wet into the saltwater field with a bigger tank and let you understand how parameters actually work. Myself, I would recommend something a lot bigger so you can learn, saltwater, and learn parameters and learn how to, control and, get really keened and honed in on how to keep, a bigger reef tank, and then challenge yourself with a smaller system. That would be me personally, and this is just my opinion. That's all I ever give is just my opinion. I don't sit up here and try to turn, opinions into facts. I'm just saying, I think it would be very smart and more wise to start off on a larger system, learn it, and then challenge yourself at a later date on keeping smaller systems. That's just me. Yeah. Okay. So you have a 30 gallon. Okay. I currently have a 30-gallon reef as well. And how well is that going for you? Reef Rabbit Aquaria. Is that going pretty good? Do whatever? If that's going good for you, and you're really being successful with that, then it's really not too much. Just outside of that, parameters will fluctuate a lot, like really, a lot because it's just a smaller volume of water. So, the evaporation is real. And with the evaporation, it's going to make your parameter swing. So if you plan on hooking up an auto top off to that 5 gallon, to keep it pretty stable as possible, that is one thing that I would recommend, is to have it, somehow have a auto top off to that, so it doesn't fluctuate that much. Anything that I could possibly do to keep it from fluctuating, is what I would do then in your circumstance. So, good morning. Dion says Rico gives opinions that count in my book. He helps all. He also got me to understand the saltwater hobby. Do your own research to approve. Then ask questions here to have confirmation. You, thank you, Dion. Thank you. Yeah, in this hobby, a lot of stuff is opinion based, and I think the confusion sometimes lies when you try to take an opinion and make it an actual fact. Um, yeah, that's just not good. You could go do your research and collectively collect a lot of information, and basically you're still going to be left with, it's like asking 10 people that one question in this hobby, and then you go do a research and you got like 50 different answers, even though you asked 10 people. You'll end up with 50 different answers. What you got to do is try to be more understanding about the hobby, understanding that there's so many different scenarios that uh, there's so many different scenarios because there's so many different tank sizes. Okay, and there's so many different bioloads and water volume, and all this stuff plays a big part in the different types of success you're going to get from it. Like, it all comes to the same thing, but some things are going to work better in different systems than others due to the sheer size, water volume, bioload, and all this stuff. You know, I'm not a god at reefing. I've been doing it for a very long time, but the reality is the confusion lies because of there's multiple different systems and system sizes, and fish by a load, and and we can each have a fish, but if one system is the same exact same size system, and if one person had one extra fish or a couple pounds of different live rock, or a couple more pounds of sand, you can have a different parameter altogether. And that's what I think makes this hobby really hard for people to understand. That's why I only give my opinion, because there really is no really like facts on a lot of the stuff that we read or we try to understand. You really have to hone yourself into what's going on in your system and really pay attention. And yeah, and ask questions. Because at the end of the day, a closed mouth don't get fed. Ask questions. When I started, this wasn't around, but it really draws a line in a community or anybody that's in reef keeping, because of there's so many different methods to reefing. There's so many different scenarios, and just because I have great success, with reefing, that doesn't mean everything that I apply to my tank is actually going to work for you. What I try to do, or try to get people to understand, is that even though I have a larger system, I'm going to be able to get away with a lot more. There's a lot of things that I can get away with, unlike some people with smaller systems. But what I try to make people understand is that with a smaller system, don't try to copy or mimic anybody else, even on another larger system. If somebody had 1,000 gallons in their, a main display, there's limitations even for my system for me to even try to mimic their system. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that they're going to be able to get away with that I can't get away with. So understanding that the system that you are working with has limitations, first off and foremost. And with those limitations, whatever they might be, it's really on you to find out and understand, because we're not there. Like, I can't physically see your system and walk with you during that journey. You have to put the time in to understand your system as well. Now, coming to get opinions and stuff like that, or thoughts, or just hear other people's thoughts, is always going to help, because uh you might get something that you didn't think of. And it's going to be like that light bulb that goes off and be like, you know what, I didn't think about that. So therefore, okay, I understand I don't have this volume of water or this system, but you know what, it makes sense. So let me try to do it in a way that might be right for my system. And then you just tweak it. You tweak it to a way that you think it will work what somebody else is doing, but it's going to be a slightly different, modified. Let's just use the word modified for your system. Um, so there's a lot of confusions when it comes to reefing and stuff like that. It's because there's not one answer that's going to solve somebody's problem. It might take a multiple different opinions or aspects, or we have to hear more information exactly what's going on to help you dial it in. But ultimately, it's up to you to really pay attention and see what's going on, and try to have some understanding when it comes to that, if that makes sense. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I don't have severe bio load. Two clowns, a blue velvet damsel, anemone, also has GSP, zoas, GSP, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Glucose, that's are all doing well. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. If all the things are doing well, and obviously don't fix it unless it's broke. Um, yeah. I If you already have an established tank, then no. I would take a piece of your established system that you got, throw it in there, and be done with it. I set up tanks like that all the time. 24 hours later, I'm throwing corals in. Okay, I'll check it, make sure everything's fine, and that's it. It works every time. Uh, hey, what's going on, LG? How's it going? We have any more questions, or anybody like to? I got to test around 12:30. Has some things acting a little crazy in the system. Give me 1 second. Let me double check, make sure everything's fine. Make sure my auto top off is working. Yeah, I think I turned it back on. Yeah, everything's fine there. Just want to double check a couple things. I've kind of haven't done anything to the system just due to the circumstances. Um, what's going on, everybody? So thanks for all the tips, and I'll be sure to keep everyone updated. I potentially do it at home just to have better success and time to maintain it versus balancing between work time and tank maintenance. Yeah, I mean, kind of just got to go with what works, really kind of works for you, and what will be best for you and the livestock at the end of the day. Yes, more questions. Nitrates, and while they're important to have beautiful SPS corals without them present in a home aquarium. Dion, I never have nitrates in my system. They run so low, so I can't even test for them. I balance out my phosphates and my phosphates even run really low, Dion. Never get a nitrate reading. Are they there? Yes, they're just ultra low. And really kind of on the opposite side, like all my corals look good. I would love to be able to test, but the filtration and stuff and how things are ran um, really keeps those really, really, really low. Um, and the corals are fine at a low versus what other people have said. My phosphates are only 0.001 to 0.02. Every now I can spike them up to 0.05, and I have to do a big heavy feeding on that. Now, if I take some filtration off and stuff like that, more than likely I maybe would get a little bit of a reading, but I don't too much worry about it. I just really look at the corals, and if the corals are happy, because I know there's systems out there that runs pretty high nitrates and the system runs just fine. I've seen systems at 50 parts per million on nitrates and look just as good as with a low. I think it's just a lot of times is over time the corals adapt to the situation, and at the end of the day you gotta listen to your corals. If the corals are saying we're good, they're looking good, saying we're good, then they're probably good. Nitrates and phosphates at a balance is the key, but you keep it low and have this must be a calcium reactor. Calcium reactor does actually put nitrates off into the system. Actually, let me grab this bottle real quick. I'll tell you, Dion, but it's just really low. Period. System. Let me see if I can. Where's my bottle at? Uh, Yeah, it's not showing it on this one. I do believe there are little nitrates and stuff that actually is put off, but it's nothing worth whatever. Um, they say no phosphates or silicates, which I do know. Um, but either way, doesn't matter. It's just really low, and I don't really, I just let the corals talk to me. People, I've had comments saying, what do you mean talk to you? Well, obviously they're not physically talking and say, hey, it's they're saying it by the way they look. It's like your child. You look at your child doesn't have to say nothing if your child looks like it's ready to throw up. Your child is sick, or when they're playing hooky, you know, they don't have to talk, by the way they look. And that's what I say. And then you always got some genius says, your coral's talking to you, you know, you'll see it. You'll develop an eye for it, and you'll know when your corals are not happy if you pay attention to them. You got to remember it's just like having a child. The system is just like having a child and stuff like that. Yeah, Dion, seriously. And you'll get it and you'll see it. You'll see what I'm talking about. You will definitely see when your corals are not happy. Now it's up to you to try to figure out. You got to become the nurse, the doctor, the whole 9 yards. You're going to have to run a slew of tests, make sure all your parameters are good, make sure things are looking just fine. You got to do all that. You become the doctor. SPS that talked to me this morning, it said F you. Phil, you're funny. He said, yeah, yeah. Yeah, always want to do what's best for the livestock, so I never hesitate to ask. So far, only problems with fish health I've had is aggression. Okay, yeah, that's kind of normal. Um, in which case, traded to the LFS for another clown, and all is okay. Yeah, that's awesome, 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 awesome. Hey, good morning, CJ. How's it going, my man? All right, man. I appreciate it, CJ. Appreciate it. And that's another thing, charting it down, and writing it down, writing your parameters. Very keeping a very close eye on your parameters and writing them down. And the time every day you should be testing. When you do test, the exact same time is very important. And also documenting what you got as far as your testing, all your results. Seriously, you should really do that. And if you're not, you should really consider it. So when something does go wrong, you have this dialogue of what you've been doing over the course of however long. If you made a change and something bad happened, you're going to know what you did. And there's situations that happen that may not, everything could look fine in your documentation of your book that been documenting everything in, and it was something else. A bigger fish passed away and set off some nutrients, really high nutrients off in the tank. You didn't realize, didn't get to the fish in time to get it out your system, and it broke down in your system. Could cause some issues and stuff like that. There's multiple different things, you know, that can happen. So a smaller system, typically, I would say, go with smaller fish that don't, so if a small fish dies, yeah, it creates a little bit of a nutrient versus a bigger fish that's going to create a lot of nutrients and spiking stuff. The breakdown and decomposing of that fish, and yeah, can cause some problems, potential problems in the system if you don't get to it in time. So keep those things in mind uh, as well. Time for work. I hope you all have a great day. Hey, thanks, American Reefing. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Don't guess at what just. That is such a pretty view of Rico's tank. Oh, thanks, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Jeff. Um, so we have anything else? Any more questions we like to talk about? How often do you replenish your cleanup crew? I have no cleanup crew. I don't use a cleanup crew in the system. For what? For me, it's just one of those things that constantly kill each other for shells. You gotta have more shells, or whatever the case may be. I use my fish as a cleanup crew. They'll handle it. Any kind of algae or anything like that. My fish is the cleanup crew. Hmm. Yeah, no cleanup crew for me. For me, I feel like they just create more nutrients in my system than needs to be. Rico, what are your thoughts on hyposalinity in a quarantine for angel? Um, First off, I'll be honest. And it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. I don't quarantine. Understanding where you get your fish from, how they do things. There's a place next to me also quarantines their fish already for you, and there's a lot of places that don't do that. I don't. Uh, should people quarantine? Yeah, you should look over the fish before you actually dump it in your system. You know, also understanding where you're getting your fish from. Also understand the process of how they bring their fish in. What do they do to the fish? The whole 9 yards. How clean is the store? How, take a lot of things into consideration. It's hard to tell somebody don't quarantine when they just lost a complete wipe out of their system. I mean, how do you tell somebody don't do something when ultimately it's what they chose not to do, um, wipe their whole tank out? Just because I don't do something doesn't mean that it should not be done. Um, have an understanding of that. Now, I've been doing it over 20 years. I have never once had a tank wipe out. But let me say this. I've always had large systems. Um, Now, Marine Velvet has no limitations. Now, I've never experienced it, never had to go through any of that. Far as it, I don't too much worry about it. And far as I'm concerned, when it comes to that, it's like this. It has what? A lifespan after it hatches, about 3 hours once it becomes uh, uh, free swimming parasite, right? If I'm not mistaken, um, to find a host. Now, in a larger system, that could be very difficult in a larger system. In a smaller system, not so not so hard to find a host. When you got a smaller system, it's very easy for that parasite to find a host. In a larger system, larger body of water, and the flow rate and all this other stuff, it could be very difficult for that. What happens when that parasite doesn't find a host? That parasite dies. Okay, that's the end of that parasite. So, a lot of things I do is based on because of water volume, because of how big things are. Does it make it right? Probably not. Here's my other thoughts on it. Now, just remember, people, these are my opinions. I'm not stating facts here, not what whatsoever. Okay, these ain't just facts. These are just my opinions. Okay, so when it comes to quarantining as well. Now, I am going to be doing this new build, and I'm really contemplating to show you guys if I was to quarantine, this is how I would quarantine, because a lot of people ask me to do a video on that. And if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to, when I do this new build, set it up so I can do so, and you guys are going to be able to follow me on my methods of an actual quarantine. So, um, but understanding when you quarantining, you have fish that are very stressed. Those fish are coming in stress, going to your local LFS, wherever you're buying these fish from. They're getting bagged up again, put under more stress. You're getting the bag of fish. You're putting the fish into a place, they're still stressed. Now you're doing things that are stressing the fish out even more. Okay, now listen to what I'm saying. Now, these are my thoughts. This is how I'm looking at it. This is just my opinion. You're stressing the fish out even more. People are using copper. Okay, you're using a poison. Okay, you're giving, and this happens in real life as well. People go get the flu shot, and there's a lot of people that said they will never do it again. They got really sick, even though it's a dead virus that's getting pumped in there so the bodies can build up antibodies to protect them against this thing, right? People get sick from it, okay? So think about it. If people getting sick from a flu shot, okay, we're adding poison, whatever, copper. I feel like you shouldn't do any of that. You should, if you want to observe the fish in the system, just observe the fish in the system. I probably wouldn't do hyposalinity or any of these things. I would just put the fish in a tank separate from the main system with its own filtration and observe the fish for 30, 60 days. Okay, just watch the fish. See how the fish is responding. See if the fish is having any kind of rapid breathing. They stuff's attached to the gills, the whole 9 yards. Watch the fish. I wouldn't do anything to cause the fish to be under more stress. That is me. I feel like you stress and stress and stress. Stress causes death. Period, point blank. It allows the body to actually weaken, to allow something to really take hold and just drain the life out of something. Those are my thoughts. Now, those are my opinions. Not, it is what it is. I think that you should observe things that you're getting, because there are times that, depending on your system, you might not have something that's going to be able, you're going to be able to put into your system to fix a problem that you put in your system. Now, here's the thing with that too. You can go a long time putting stuff in quarantine and look, and sometimes things never show its real head during the whole quarantine process and still make it into your system. Somehow, some way, still makes it into your system. I'm just saying, I've seen it a million times. I know people that are very anal about quarantining and whatever. They did all they could possibly, tried to make sure that nothing will get in their system, and miraculously, somehow, something bad ended up in their system. It's one of those things, as much as you observed, as much as you had it in quarantine, this and that, something still sometimes just gets in, so you can do all you want to do. I'm saying, long as you understand that, it is time consuming, and obviously you want to try to secure your investment as much as possible. Understand, that things still can make it in, and it has happened. It got under the radar and never showed its true head until after the fact, and then now it's running rampant in the tank. It happens all the time. So long as you understand that, do what is right for you, is my opinion. If you have room to set up a quarantine, if you have the time to do it, do what's right for you, because ultimately it's your pockets. Okay. It's you spending your money, your hard earned money to, for these animals. So you got to do what's right for you on that one. Good morning. I'm okay, Tim. I'm doing as good as I can. I think it's going to take a little time for me to really uh, get 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 over the fact that grandma's gone, but I'm trying. That's why I'm here. I'm just wanting to talk and help people out and try to put my mind somewhere else. Uh, Military reef going to depend on height and light spread, etc. Those are good lights. Okay. What's the ideal height? Ideal height, as far as light. It really just depends on you as well. Do if you're running LEDs and stuff like that, it really just depends on you. You want to crank them up 100% on every channel, and you run them real high. You want to, not, hammer your lights or whatever the case may be. Run them closer and have, whatever. It's really up to you. So what's up to your liking? So see if I missed any more questions here. Thanks, Rico. I have a smaller system, total 70 gallons, and I've had to tank wipeouts before. I've lost 3 Bellis Angels over the time, and I guess I'm paranoid. That is my 4th attempt. There's nothing wrong with being paranoid. There's a lot of money that goes into this hobby, a lot of time, so much stuff that goes in. Don't be paranoid. Try to be safe. Be safe. Uh, do what you can to protect your investment. That is what everybody needs to do. Protect your investment. At the end of the day, if you can get a quarantine, quarantine. And it doesn't have to be big at all. You could use a 10-gallon. 10 gallons, hang on the back with some little media. And and that's it. Just understand you know, I'm sure a lot of people can find a spot just to run a quarantine system. If it's over in a nook cranny of a corner somewhere, you know, I'm not going to, you know, like I said, I can't tell somebody not to do it just because I don't do it, you know. And I'm not saying that I've been lucky for 20 plus years of not doing it. You know, your luck just doesn't run that long at all. It's just my opinion is I think larger water volumes and stuff, and considering on where you're getting your fish, I don't go to a lot of different places to get my fish. I have like 2 to 3 places that I've always got my fish from, and they never had any kind of tank wipeouts or anything like that. So, you know, you got to really consider where the sources are coming from. Um, that's all. You know, so there's places that I would never buy corals from because they're just loaded with all kind of pests on them. You know, bobble algae, Actasias, Majanos, and I mean through the whole system. Um, I wouldn't even want that. No way. I wouldn't want a piece of coral coming from that. You know, I understand you get an Aptasia here and there or whatever, but when you see a tank that's riddled with all these different things, I'm good. I would never buy a coral from a system like that. That's just me. Now, if they wanted to clean it up and get rid of all the pests and stuff like that and put the proper animals in there to take care of those things and got it all cleaned up, then okay. That's just me. Um, I am new to just don't want them to lose color. I want them to grow. Sometimes when you put corals in, corals do go a little pale and then they regain their color. That you know, understand that corals are do get stressed when you move them. They're going to adapt to your water parameters and stuff like that. That's something that does happen sometimes, and it's just one of those things. And you sit back and let them do what they're going to do, and they'll color back up. I've had plenty of corals that took, you know, almost a whole year to get their color back. Speaking just, I talk a lot about the one Jason Fox that I got. I mean, it did it, you know, and it took 10 months, 8 months, 8 months, 2 months after I got it, went to brown, and 2 months right before to make it a full year, it got its color back before I went to the frac swap again. So I'm really impressed with myself. I've kept my hands out, and now my polyps are extending, starting to look pretty. Kinsey, there you go. Um, there's a lot that we do and we don't realize when we sticking our hands in a system, we're disrupting the system. There's things that's coming off our skin, oils and stuff like that, that you know slows down the process of things, your protein skimmers, whatever. You're putting extra bioload into the system, it shocks the system. There's all kinds of things. You can get some gloves that go all the way up to your shoulder when it comes time for things. And that's why I said usually after your first year, is it usually gets a little bit better when setting up a new system. Things start to whatever you're slowly not putting your hands in the tank as much usually because you done you know we're already impatient and threw a lot of stuff at it at the beginning stages usually. So yeah, let's see. I just got some Cheeto for my LFS, and got a bristle worm in my sump. Bristle worms are fine. They're part of a cleanup crew, to be quite honest, and it's in your sump. Bristle worms control their you know how they breed and stuff based on nutrients, bioload, stuff like that. It's fine if you don't want it, just take it out. If it's down there and you can get to it, you know, but I don't worry about bristle worms. A lot of times I don't have them, and if they are, they're very scarce because the wrasses, the Melanaris wrasse and stuff like that, it sees them and they're gone. You know, eats them. You know, just eats them, tears them up. So I really don't even have those. Bigger, but the tank is already expensive. And I just imagine a bigger tank. Yeah. Well, that orange plate coral will come back. It should come back just fine. Plate coral. Oh, wait a minute. You said orange plate, fungia plate coral. Yeah, that could wreak havoc a little bit. Um, Rico was scared for me handling my old rotten live, rotten dead snails CQ cleanup crew. It was gross. Yeah, yeah, that was really terrible. Just what you had in there and just letting it mutate and just yeah, I probably would have put gloves on cleaning that stuff. That yeah, polys and stuff like that dead in the water. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't want to see you poison yourself. Why do I get more polyp extension when the lights are off than on? That's usually a lot of your SPS polyp extension at night during, is when they typically feed. Um, and I really honestly just a belief of mine and just an opinion that there's less predators to pick at the polyps that's waving in the air at night. You can get them to do it during the day and train them to do it, um, but it's just more feeding response at night. I feel that's just my opinion. Uh, let's see, enjoying the sun. Yeah, no, I'm just I didn't want to get out of bed. I'll be honest, I did not want to get out of bed. I came home and climbed into bed and went to bed and got up and did not want to get out of bed. But I know I have to get out and there's other things that depend on me, and I gotta, test my system and do some things that. Yeah. Good morning, Tina. How are you, hon? Um, yeah, whatever you feel like, military, if that's something you're interested in doing, understand that stability is key. Stability, keep it simple, and you'll still get your coloration and coral growth. Um, I'm just saying, take it for what it's worth. Keep it simple and keep things stable. Keep your parameters stable. Keep your nutrients, all the above. If you do that, you'll get coloration and growth. So, like I said, take it for what it's worth. Sometimes we all like to indulge and try to buy things that maybe help us get one up. Get one up is just you. Getting one up is really totally based on you as an individual, as all of us as individuals, on how well can we keep our parameters stable and keep things simple. And the more stability we are able to give our systems, the more rewarding it will be. Trust me. Now, I want to say that's a fact. Okay. So, and I don't give facts. I'm just saying. I usually give opinions, and I'm going to tell you right now, for as I'm concerned, and people can get mad, I'm going to say that as a fact. So, take it for what it's worth on that one. Okay. Hello, Ash. Good morning. Morning, everyone. Just come in to say hi at work. Okay, Ash. Hello. My parameters? Um, I don't know. Alks usually around 9. Usually. Phosphates are usually 0.02. Nitrates, never got a reading. Magnesium, somewhere in between 1,500 or so. Calcium's usually around, I don't know, 450. Um, yeah. Salinity's 2.5. And that's where it normally stays around. Reef Keeper says, totally agree. That's a fact. If you're constantly changing things, you will have bad results. Yeah, yeah. That's why I said I had to state that as a fact. Regardless, that's a fact in my book. Stability. Um, what's up, Lisa? Let's see. Hello, P Babe. How are you doing, hon? Good morning or good afternoon or evening. P Babe, good to see you in here. Uh, okay, Reef Robert Aquaria. Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate it. Uh-oh. Somebody just found their sleeper goby on the floor, dried out. Potato fish chip. Mm-hmm. Well, if we have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to take mom out to get groceries. Okay, Tina, you have a good one. Drive safe. I was watching Lurking in a few live streams, and well, it pissed me off because there are so many two-faced people in our community. Well, hey, P Babe, listen, P Babe, I understand how you may feel. You know what, hon? Let's not focus our energy no more on uh on those situations, P Babe. Let's not even waste our energy. You know what? This channel for me is new, and we're going to keep it free from drama. I'm not going to allow anything else ever to bother me again. Life is too short, and you know what? It is what it is. You know, we can't change people. All we can do is worry about what we're doing and focus on the positive, and let's not even get um get in there. I'm done. I'm tapped out. Dylan, I'm not going to do it. And I hope you don't waste any more of your energy or life that God gave you on on the nastiness that goes on as far as the community. Okay, seriously, it's that part of me. It's over. As far as that I'm concerned, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to be here for the ones that want to be here, want to learn. I'm here to help out and give any of my knowledge, my opinions to everybody that would like to be here. I don't, I'm dead serious. After this last past week that I've had, I am truly done. And no more migraines. I appreciate everybody that wants to be here and would like to keep a positive community. Um, I really want to focus on, the positive. Watching our language, watching the whole 9 yards. People don't want to be here. Obviously they can go where the good Lord split them. There's the doors swing both ways. Um, but this is the real deal. There is no more with me. Um, I can't focus on that. My life means more to me than YouTube and my stress and health and all that. If you know, I can't help people want to be nasty and negative, but I can help with how I respond to it and not say anything at all. I can allow them to do whatever it is they want to say and whatever. Let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on everybody that's here right now that wants to learn something. Okay. Let's focus our energy on that. Whether you go see on another channel or anything else, hey, doesn't matter. They have to live with that and they have to deal with those their own demons, the whole 9 yards themselves and what's going on in their life. But I need to focus on what's going on right here with this new channel, with my I created right here, this community. I can't be responsible or feel a certain type of way no more towards anything else. I can't do it. So yeah, that's just the way it is. And God bless those that don't want to be around here. That's all I got to say. I'm done. I'm tapped. I'm spent, and I'm not focused another once uh, uh, any more of my energy in that direction. So may God have mercy on them. Let me just say that, especially after my week. So anyway, let's get back to any more questions and when it comes to reefing, anything else we can talk about and stuff like that. Today, I'm getting ready to call to finalize the tank, and I will let you guys know um, here in a little while. We're gonna call and finalize and send them the half the deposit for the tank. That's what we're focusing on, and this is going to be really nice and lots of content, and I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited. I, I I'm excited, but I'm not, to be quite honest. The what's all the work that it's going to take to make this and to do this, just so people can see the whole process. Um, it's whatever. But you know what? I feel like it's definitely needed. It's obviously I'm here to help others, and so people can learn or maybe pick up things that I'm doing and why I have so great success at what I'm doing. They're going to be able to see that. A lot of times you don't get to see all these things that a lot of old heads do. You don't get to follow that at all. They have their own methods, they have their own ways. And honestly, to be honest, um, the truth of the matter is people look at how much time and how long it took them to get to the point of being successful, and they really don't like to share that. And I can see both sides of the fence. They put in a lot of money and time and effort to get to where they were. Um, and a lot of times they don't want to give up that sauce. And I can understand, something that took somebody a long time to get there, and then for somebody else to get it overnight. You know what? We can't worry about that. You can't worry about that. You know what? Because you got to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we keeping animals. So why allow other people to continue to have failures and keep killing animals? If you know enough and you're having great success, why not just share it? Why not share it? I'm going to share. I have been. I've been here helping for the past 2 years, and gave up a lot of my time. Now, some people say good to see you have so much time, and you know, it is good. It's good because we're saving lives. We're saving animals. We're saving all the animals that we are keeping by trying to help stop one more from somebody making a bad decision or making a bad choice and causing more deaths. So it's definitely a good thing to help out others. And it doesn't cost you nothing. Life's really short. It doesn't cost you nothing to help somebody out. Help those that want to help themselves. Help those that are here. And hey, um, there's a lot of people that this build's going to help. I honestly do feel that way. It's going to be a lot of time consuming work for me on my part. A lot of Probably a lot of pain medication and stuff like that, because it's just one of those things. But you know what? A small sacrifice to help hundreds of people, hey, or even more, you know, because those videos will be up and those videos will carry on for many, many, many years, you know, as long as YouTube exists. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Um, let's see. What did I miss? Um, I'm just appreciative to see the steps to the build. Thanks, Rick. Um, Straight reefer, no problem. Um, yeah. Uh, Rico's Aquarium, you missed the group hug. Ha, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So is there anything else that anybody would like to questions anybody like to ask? Let's see. In the end, we are here to help each other and move on. And remember my signature statement. You are more than welcome, Lisa. Thank you, Ash. Okay. So, yeah. Now for a change, my tank is perfect. There you go. Tristan, good morning. Okay. Thank you, Tristan. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. You know, just hit me up on, you know, the phone. Um, more on that. Appreciate that. I did my test last night. My ALK is 10. Is that a worry? No, not really. Um, I wouldn't worry about it. You would like to lower it, just let it fall down on its own. Just let it gradually come down. Don't be dosing. Just let it gradually come down. Just let it come down. Now, keep in mind, if you're doing water changes, though, depending on where your salt mix is mixing up at, the salt you choose, you know, it might just stay at 10. So just keep in mind if it's not being utilized. So, um, you know, considering what you are keeping in there, you know, that's just whatever. So keep that in mind. That's what your salt mix is up at, and you're doing water changes, then it'll probably just stay there. And that's fine. Yes, you know, you don't want it to keep fluctuating and stuff like that. You know, you want to find it and, you know, set it where you like it and keep it there. That's Rico. I'm setting up a 125. Uh, what kind of wood do I buy to put between stand and tank? Um, some plywood. You want to get um, I forget the name. Uh, what I like to use. Give me a minute, Sherry. Let my brain. Yeah. Well, yeah, two by. Yeah. Well, you gotta have to cut that to her size tank. Miss Risa says, question Rico, my sand is too light. I need more flow. My microalgae has some stuff uh, flowing on the limbs. Would you change my sand? Huh? Would changing my sand be critical to my levels in my tank? Because this is hitting my nerves. Miss Risa, I'm kind of not understanding that at all. You're saying uh, your sand is too light. I need more flow. My microalgae has some stuff. Okay, so what kind of stuff is on the microalgae? Microalgae. And I don't understand the relationship between the sand that we're talking about and what's growing on the microalgae. Like, so yeah, I'm trying to understand what exactly is that we're talking about there. I was watching a video of Chris Fishroom called You on the Nano Challenge. Are you going to do one? No, I was not ever doing one, but yeah, no, I have enough tanks here to worry about. It looks like hair algae. My pumps are blowing the sand around. Oh, so you have two things going on. Your pumps are blowing sand around, and also you have some algae growing on some macroalgae. So we got two different problems. Now, if you got controllable pumps, you can control, and maybe turn them down a little bit. So you can try turn them down a little bit, or you can get some bigger grain sand to sit on top of the spots that are being hammered by your flow. Okay, you can do that. You know, go with a bigger size sand. You can take some out, put some new bigger size sand in that area, or just put a little bit on top, bigger grain sand to hold down the finer sand. The tank is brand new set up. It's not going to really wreak havoc on any system. But with that being said, we all do by this point know that nothing good happens fast, only bad things. And with that being said, you do want to make sure you do everything in small increments just to be on the safe side, to be honest. So keep that in mind. Um, Dre Salty Aquatics, good morning. Nothing much. How are you feeling today? I just woke up. Still, but I'm still your wrench understudy. So I'm taking notes. All right, all right, all right. That's awesome. Um, yeah, yeah. And then, as far as the macroalgae, just break off those pieces off your macroalgae that's got some unwanted algae on there. Um, you can do that as well. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, freshman reefer. Good morning to all. Phillips, everybody. And I'm feeling okay. Thanks for asking. Um, my, it's I didn't want to get out of bed. I'll be honest. My grandmother was everything to me. That was the last of my grandparents, and she meant everything. And when I say everything, she meant everything to me. I cannot put it in words. Um, and actually, I just don't even want to talk about it because it's really painful still. So, anyway, okay. Let's get okay. Sure, Rico can chime in too. Okay. Prayers went out. Okay. Thank you, Bobby. Um, thank you, Jeff. All right, Ash. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. So, what other questions do we have? Okay. Spent the weekend in Vegas. Checked out Aquatic Treasures. Was a very clean and cool store. That's awesome, Nick. 217 Reefer. That is awesome. Hello, Frank. How's it going? Thank you, Sandy. Yes, thank you, Saudi Aquatics. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. There you go, Bobby. There you go. Yeah. Rico, when you come to New York, you should check out the 20,000 gallon reef tank at Long Island Aquarium. I did hear about it. I have never been there. I think that would be pretty cool to check out. Yeah. What is up with work people trying to interrupt my live stream lurking? Oh, how's everyone today? Ryan Gill. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Chris Trade. From who did you hear this? Hmm, what did I miss? Oh, so is there any more questions? I'll probably be doing stuff like this in the morning for a little bit. Um, I know a lot of people like to. I agree the 20 tank would be an awesome trip for Rico. Yeah, I would love to see it. Um, I don't know, Lisa. I really plan on checking over my parameters of things. I'm just trying to stay motivated, to be honest. Um, just trying to stay out of the funk. I'm trying to think about the new channel, the direction I want it to go, and it's going to go regardless of who likes it or who don't. I want to, open up things of people during the day, or should I say in the mornings, where I'll do Q&As, and maybe in the evening after, whatever, um, I'll do a group, the group hangouts until people show that they can't keep it on subject, and talk in a positive way and stuff like that. So, um, yeah. So I know that, it once again, people don't like change, but like I said, after this week and everything, it's just going to change. And and people have the option to do what they need to do for them. They want to unsub and go wherever. It's their business. I just need um, more positive right now around me, and versus negative. And that's just the way. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. You know, I'm not a spring chicken. I might look like it and whatever, and I need positive. That's it. At the end of the day, I need positive. I need people that are going to, on the live streams, that want to, have control and wrenches and stuff like that to they're part of the community, be part of the community, um, stop any kind of nonsense. Everybody, you know, warning. That's it. And sorry, you had your chance, but I can't allow the negatives to put sour taste in other people's mouth. Um, yeah, just can't happen. So that's the direction my channel's going. We can have long live streams if we're going to keep it positive. We're going to not over talk one another. We're going to let other people speak and learn to be quiet while other people are speaking and not talk over one another and all that good stuff. Fine, we'll have long live streams. Um, if that can't happen, we won't. We'll have some Q&As with me. If it's only an hour, if it's only 2 hours, so be it. Like I said, it's probably going to make some people mad, but at the end of the day, I can't worry about that. I got to worry about what's best for me. Um, my frustration level, my health, the whole 9 yards. So if you want to be part of it and you got some good advice or just good opinions on outlooks on the hobby and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to share it. You're more than welcome to be part of a greater thing and help others. If you're here for negative reasons and any of that, then please do not come. That's all I can say. So that's where it's at. I need good juju around me right now, and I need it. What's going on, IFG? How's it going? Hype Nation up in the house. Um, yeah, so that's where I'm at, to be honest. And like I said, you need an intro. Hit me up on Instagram, man. Send me a message, man. I'll get with you. Just hit me up private on Instagram. We'll talk about it. So yeah, I mean, hopefully everybody can understand where I'm coming from. At the end of the day, this is, like I said, people don't like change, but I got to do what's best for me, and I'm here to help anybody to become a better reefer. I'm here to share all my thoughts and my trials and errors and tribulations of reef keeping. I'm here to help, but I just can't deal with. I just can't. Almost, it's not good for me. It's not good for my health, and I don't want to snap, and I don't want to be, something. You know, I'm already, whatever. But there's a lot of people don't understand me as is. When people get to meet me in person, they really understand that I'm really a nice guy. And I'm a nice guy till there's a time not to be. But I just it's going to change. It's changed as far as I'm concerned. So, everybody that's listening now, understand that. And I'm not mad if you need to unsubscribe and go somewhere. I'm not mad at all. Do what you got to do for you. I'm sorry if you look forward to this stream to be, get you through the work day all day, every day, or to whatever the case may be. Um, I can't continue to do it. I need to, if people want to show and step up to the plate, and you know, we can work something out, and stuff like that, which is cool. But it will give it a shot. But as soon as it goes left, if people can't respect other people and constantly talking over people, and everybody wants to be a chief, and just if somebody's asking for help and somebody's talking and constantly being interrupted or talked over and all this other stuff, it just causes more stress and confusion. And it's just not, nobody's getting any kind of help because nobody can hear what exactly being told or taught or whatever the case may be. I just can't have that no more. I understand everybody wants to feel and put in their worth and help out. I get it, but it can't be done if 20 people are trying to talk to one person that's trying to understand something. Dave and Pat's been on here a very long time. Um, Dave and Pat knows a lot of things that I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. And they have their own spin on things too. And it's not, so those things, they're the ones that, whatever. Lisa's, constantly making sure people got the link. She's been, and she's actually pretty new. And she's really been a real help with getting people to be able to get in the whole 9 yards. That's kind of fine, like her little niche that she's came up with and just took up on her own chin to make sure everybody's getting what they need, the link and whatever. Pat and Dave are you know, when they're not at work or whatever, they're constantly in here. They're trying to help, but they get frustrated too, and they get frustrated and they try to um, do their best. Um, but you know, people all have a breaking point. So we need to all, you know, continue to work together. If you guys, you know, want certain things done, we have to work together. We can't work against each other. We cannot step all over each other. We cannot talk over one another. We have to let people speak, and then your turn. It's, you know, it's very simple. We've learned these fundamental things as at a very young age, and that's that. You know, period. I hope each and every one of you guys can understand where I'm coming from. So a lot of times, what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to, um, you know, probably start the mornings. People have the whole day to, you know, rest of the day that have problems or whatever. You know, time to ask their questions. I'll answer some questions, whether it's a half hour, 2 hours long. That's about you know, whatever. If there's other people that are off work, and Dave and Murphy, um that want to, you know, take over, and you know, whatever, that's going to be totally on them at that time. In the evenings is when I'll probably, you know, have people on, like I said, unless Dave and Murph's not at work and they want to continue on. um Long as it's totally about reef keeping and stuff like that. I'm sorry, it has to continue to be on reef keeping. There's got to be people that's actually reading the chat. There's people that's asking questions in the chat. Their messages are getting overlooked, not deliberately, obviously, but people get caught off into a conversation within the chat and not seeing, I mean, in the Hangouts and not seeing the chat. So, and the bottom line is, no one, as Ryan Gill says, and no one is getting paid to do this. You have to like and enjoy it to keep it going. Do you all, folks? Uh, do you, and folks will follow. Yes, exactly, Ryan. You know, um, it's just, you know, it's just one of those things. You know, I appreciate everything. I love doing what I do, but I really have to, you know, do what's right for me and my health as well. And that's just it. You know, like I said, if Murphy's Reefing, and Dave's Nano Tank, if they're not here, or if they are here, you know, and they want to take over and whatever, that's fine. But like I said, it does need to stay on topic. People do need to pay attention to the chat and make sure that people are coming in, you know, needing help. Those questions are answered to the best of your ability. You know, um, that's what needs to be done. And if they're not, then it's not going to be a free for all. And we talk about anything and everything. It is a reefing channel. It is a channel about, you know, reefing. I know people are going to, you know, get tired of answering the same questions, but you got to understand there's a lot of new people out there that are coming across. They're finding the channel. And it never ends. There's tons of people constantly that's converted over to this hobby. Tons and tons. And you know, I've been doing it a long time already, you know, and it's not going to stop. You know, it's just not going to stop. The same questions are always going to be, you know. So understand that, and don't get upset because we already covered that. Well, yeah, we might have, but what about the 20 or 30 new people that's coming in that just found it? They haven't. So it's always going to be that situation. So, um, yeah. So we'll allow that until we can't allow that, or till somebody ruins that, um, of, you know, live streams being up, and, you know, and can't follow those things. And, you know, then it will just be, when I get on, I get on. You know, when I get on, I get on. So it's really, at the end of the day, up to you guys, and you guys to control and to keep other people that are new, let them understand, you know, how things are done. And it's all because we're just trying to keep it very professional. We're trying to make sure everybody's getting their stuff answered. That's just all to it. So hopefully all you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Hopefully all you guys agree to how it needs to be, regardless of how bad. We love these things to be all the time. We can do it as a community though. That's it. I can't be here all the time. I can't. I got to get stuff done. I got stuff that I need to do. I've done it for the past 2 years. I sacrificed a lot. Um, and it was my choice. Nobody made me. Nobody, threatened me to do it. It's my choice. But after this past weekend, enough is enough for me. I'm just saying. So um, I'm here. I want to continue to do Q&As, but marathon and all this other stuff is probably only going to be when there's other individuals willing, to help and, you know, when it comes to that. So just so we all know. Oh, that's nice. Nice, Frank. Awesome. So is there any more questions? Do we have any more questions or, you know, morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, Myers Reef. What's going on? Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, about 1 hour. I got to test everything. It's been a lot, been a couple weeks. I know I haven't done nothing in over a week, as far as testing, and a couple things looked like I don't know, but we'll see. No problem, Frank. Um, any idea to try to feed very large conch besides north? Um mm, Nori? You mean besides Nori? I probably just Nori. I have no nothing to answer that with. If I'm reading that right, Nori. Yeah, okay, Nori. Um, no, I would just continue what I'm doing, and that's it. There, wants the name of the blue and green acro. You sent me blue and green, blue, green. Um, Short adding the Cali Tort. Probably I can't remember everything. It's probably the Tort. Yeah, going to test today. Let's see. What do y'all use to test? I use a lot of. I use Hanna, some Hanna products to test. I do use Celifert and Red Sea. So trying to get KH back up, has been dropping and been increasing my dose, but still has dropped. So put a power head my outgoes bucket, help fix it. I use, yeah, I know nothing. Okay, Chris, Rico UV sterilized, yes or no? Would you use it? Yes, I have used them. I actually have one hooked up right now. in my sump area, a small one. But yeah, I've used them multiple different times, and really, it's kind of like either way. It really just depends on you and what you want to use it for. I use mine with a trickle, so the water that comes out, everything's being killed. No matter what goes in, things have to go in to actually be affected by it. So I just use mine with a trickle. Tristan, I would do it with a couple big guys. But then again, depending on how those feet are made, you don't want to tear your feet up on the stand. Um, yeah, that, you know, depending on how they slide, you got some kind of sliders or, but then again, you probably wouldn't because the weight would crack them. Um, so, yeah. All right. Maybe. Yeah, tank will be empty, but I'm going to probably be in the same boat as you. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. I'm really sure it's not. I mean, that's still a lot of weight. You know, mine. I have to do the exact same thing. I have to, you know, figure out my box and all that stuff, and box on the other side of the thing. So, all right, you're for it, reptile. I think it's a tort, man. Honestly, I think it's probably one of the torts. Really green, like a green body and blue. Like the body is more green and it's all blue. It's definitely one of the torts. I'm pretty sure. I mean, in my main display, it's a really hint of green, but mainly all blue. It's just a lighting makes it, different lighting. Yeah. Are you using your old filtration? No, everything's going to be changed out. This is going to be a complete build from A to Z, and so people can see how, whatever, you know, they'll get to see the whole thing. Yep, get to see the whole thing, Bobby. If you can, yes, okay. Tank is cycled, Lisa says. There you go. Hey, Chris. Hey, Rico. Do you ship? No, do not ship to Ontario. Nothing to Canada. Sorry. Yeah, none of that to Canada. Nope. No problem, Chris. No problem. So, is there any more questions, guys? I'm gonna probably hop off here. I'm gonna get some stuff done, and you know, I got a lot to do today. You know, and maybe later on this evening, when people get off work, we'll start a new stream and allow people to come in and hang out and, you know, ask questions and, you know, talk about reef stuff. So if it's a new tank, just patience. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Hello. Yeah, it's aquariums and reptiles. Good morning. Uh, so hard to find corals here. Brompton. Yeah. Um, it's all right, Chris. Let's see. All right. No problem. Thanks, everybody. Um, obviously, with no more questions, we're going to go ahead and shut down the stream. I'm going to get some stuff done. I got a lot to do, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for understanding. And maybe this evening we will kick off another live stream after I get settled in, and you know I got a lot to do. So I just want to say thanks to all you guys. Appreciate all the love and support. Once again, thanks to all you guys that sent the nice arrangements to my grandmother's to the funeral home. It was very beautiful, and I will definitely make sure I put out a video thanking each and every one of them, everybody that was involved um, to help make me feel better, and that it, you know, that made that happen. So um, yeah, just want to say thanks, and I'll catch you guys on the next live stream. All right, so you guys have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you all soon.